I'd say to all my juniors out there that are looking to, be at some of these top level programs, D2, D3, any of them, you got to go play. Okay, you got to know what makes you you. Don't be afraid to be you on the golf course. Don't be afraid to tap into your strengths. I grew up in the state of Indiana, city of Indianapolis. For most that know the state of Indiana, we are definitely basketball crazed. So I grew up playing basketball, football, baseball, like most kids did. Golf was not on the radar at all. Wasn't really much of anything that I knew of. And I just so happened to have a gym teacher kind of late in my elementary school years where we had a session where we would go out behind the back of the school and the football stadium was maybe, let's call it 150 yards behind the school. And we were just pounding on golf balls as a part of this kind of section of our gym class. And I was one of the few that could hit it onto the football field. So I started looking around and I'm thinking, this is pretty cool. And I wouldn't ask my dad, all right, I think this is something I like. Can I get a set of clubs? Interest started to peak from there. And then what kind of hooked me to the game was I really like the isolation of it. I really like being able to do it myself. Every other sport, again, there is the team aspect, there is the coach, there's always somebody with you, but I really appreciated putting the headphones in, being on the driving range, putting green, and just practicing, being able to figure it out myself. I really think there's value in that, not only in golf, but in other aspects of life and in work as well. From there, it kind of grew. I kind of moved the basketball, baseball, and football to the wayside, and then kept going with golf, both high school level and then some small D3 golf at Hanover College, and had a great time there. I got to experience firsthand exactly what it was like to be a part of a team that was competing. We were a part of something new and something special at Hanover. Uh, I had a pretty solid career there, and yeah, golf has taken me places again, just as golf as a standalone and as college that I never would have thought I would be. My journey in the college golf space professionally, again, the story can't be told without golf stat. They have been such an important part, again, of the overall landscape of college golf, and that's exactly where I got my start. Um, Mark Lash, unfortunately, was diagnosed with ALS and was going to pass away several months later after when they contacted me. Um, so I got to work firsthand or learn firsthand from him at the very start. Learned everything about the golf stat ranking, all the different rules and regulations of the NCAA. And I'll never forget. I'll tell this story all the time. One of my first experiences with um, learning the coaches, learning the ranking, and just how this whole thing goes. I was presented with a rankings question from a coach, and Mark told me to go home, think about it, come back with an answer the next day about what do you think the answer to this rankings question was. So I come back the next day. We're meeting at his house. This maybe a week into training, and I give my explanation. Again, this is a guy that created the ranking, that knew exactly what was going on. And when I gave him my answer, again, ALS, his body wasn't doing a whole lot, but his mind was as sharp as ever. And I saw the light bulb click and his eyes light up. And I knew, okay, maybe there's something here. Maybe I can do this for a while. And that really started to ignite that fire in me, that passion that, all right, this is really cool. I love the learning of again, just how all of this stuff works. So I continue to learn. I've had so many experiences with coaches that have kind of helped me along the way, um, that have really shown me what this whole thing is about. Again, the team aspect, the different NCAA rules and regulations, what it's like to travel from place to place, which tournaments are this, which tournaments are that. I've been to many conference championships. Some of my favorites, I typically go to the Big Ten championship every year, and that's one of my favorite tournaments. I love the big tournaments like the NCAA D1 championship, but if you ask anybody, one of my favorite tournaments of the year is the D3 Women's National Championship. And it's because it's a celebration of players. They've done so well the entire year. They've built to that crescendo, and it is truly a celebration of congrats on a great year. You've won your conference, you've been selected, whatever it may be. And they do such a good job of celebrating those student athletes that for me, it's a treat just to be a part of it, just to be on site and hopefully, again, tell that story of those athletes, amplify the scores and the success they've had throughout the season. Um, I've also been fortunate to see some really good players, some really good golf courses. I was there for Matthew Wolff, for Victor Hovland, for Colin Morikawa, and then some of the players maybe that didn't make it as big, but are still trying to find their way, like a Dylan Meyer at Illinois. That was one of my favorite players when I first started at GolfStat. Being able, again, to follow some of that journey from the start of those players and then to see them have success on the PGA Tour, LPGA Tour, amateur career, business ventures otherwise, and to track them from, again, 18-year-old kid to finding their way afterwards is one of the better joys of this as well. It's all it's all a continued learning process for them, just as it is for me. And to follow that has been very, very fulfilling for what I've been able to do. Journey came to an end with golf that, and obviously there was a lot of uncertainty, both for me professionally, but just college golf in general. Things weren't going well. College golf was not in the place that I was used to it being, and that takes a toll on somebody. So, at the end of fall, I was firmly okay with being done. Hey, if this thing, if the ship doesn't get righted, it's okay if I'm not a part of it. Even if it does get righted, it's okay if I'm not a part of it. What was important to me at the end of fall was that my mental health was okay, that I was going to be okay as a human. So I was firmly okay with being out of college golf. If that was the option that needed to be taken. I think what really helped me stay in this space and to continue, even if the flame was a little smaller, but continue to help the flame be there was honestly everybody in college golf that reached out. I can't tell you how many times I'd have a coach call, send a text or an email. And it was more than just, we appreciate you. It was the questions of, Marcus, how are you doing? Are you okay? Is there anything I can do for you? And that was a side of college golf I had not seen before. But it really gets to the humanity of the people that I am lucky enough to work with and serve in this game of college golf. Fast forward, obviously the transition with Clipped. Again, still firmly in the camp of, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I, got on the phone with Clipped, or they reached out to me and presented an opportunity that was legit. This is what we want you to do. Here's kind of what our vision is. Here's what the team looks like. Here's the resources around you. And here's what we think we can build. Do you want to be a part of that? And the answer was pretty easy for me kind of once I heard what they were planning on doing. I think college golf deserves more. And I think Clipped is equipped to give it more. And that's the most exciting part about what we have going on. College golf has always seen the scores, but it's been fragmented in how we tell the stories. We have the chance to bring all of that together and provide a very comprehensive experience for fans, teams, players, mom and dad, alumni, whoever that is a supporter and a part of this college golf community. And that's the thing that gets me excited the most is why rest on doing what's needed when we can focus more on what can be done and what can be elevated. And I think those opportunities are right in front of us. I think the possibilities truly are endless as far as the experience we could bring, not only from a scoring standpoint, not only from a ranking standpoint, but again, we get to tell stories now. And I think having a place where we can all be proud of not just golf, but college golf is something that I think is right in front of us if it's done right. And I firmly believe that what we have going on can get that job done. My name is Marcus L., General Manager, Scoreboard powered by Clipped. Honored to continue to work with you all in college golf. Really excited to show you what we've been working on. Let's get after it.